Hi, we're the Watson twins, and you're listening to Shutter 16. Come see us at the Neighborhood Theater in Charlotte.
So you guys have a new record coming out very soon on the 23rd of June.
I know, next week. Oh my gosh, it's here.
So exciting.
I know, it takes us so long, you know, like after recording and like writing and everything, like the process is so long to actually people hearing it that now that it's here, of course, I sleep about 2 hours a night. Just excited, you know. Story.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about how Holler kind of came together?
Sure. Leigh, do you want to expand on that? Yes. Are you there? So back in March of 2022, we were working on a record with our friend Butch Walker, who happened to be the person who actually produced the record as well. We were working on his solo record, Glenn, and had been doing background vocals on that record. And we were kind of wrapping up our session, and he was asking us what we had going on next. And we had a festival show that we were going to be playing here in Nashville for one of our like summer festivals. And we just had mentioned to him, we said we really want to have just a new song to release, because our previous release, we toured up until basically the pandemic hit. And then of course, you know, the world stopped for 2 years, especially musically. And so we just really wanted to come back with like a fun song, an upbeat song that felt, you know, spirited and energetic, and just to kind of breathe life back into music for us. And we had a long time staple in our set. It's a song called Two Timin'. And which album is Two Timin' on? And we were like, oh, we haven't actually recorded that yet. And so we mentioned that to him, and he was like, well, I'm here for the next few days. Why don't we just do it here at my studio? And so, as luck would have it, all of our bandmates just happened to be in town, our touring band that's here in Nashville. And within 20 minutes, we were confirmed, and 48 hours later, we were in the studio, and we recorded Two Timin', which was kind of the match that lit the flame, you know, of this new batch of songs. And we had such a great time in the studio that we just really, we wanted to, you know, keep writing more songs in that vein. And I think that, you know, Holler, the record, just really kind of captures that live, organic, authentic, sort of spirited energy. You know, it's not meticulous, and you know, it was never meant to be like, you know, absolute perfection. It was meant to feel real and full of life. And yeah, so that's kind of how it got started. And Butch said at the end of the recording, oh, this was so awesome. You know, he played guitar on it and sang background vocals with us, and this was so awesome. We should do this again. We should do this again. And of course that got our wheels turning. And you know, about a month later, we called him and we said, you kept saying we should do more of this. Are you serious? And he said, yeah, do you have any songs? And we were like, we'll have to get back to you on that. And so Chandra and I spent the next like 3 months just writing together every single day, and really woodshedding and trying to create a home for you know, for Two Timin' to live in. And you know, what do the siblings look like? What do the parents look like? What is it, you know, that whole kind of like family dynamic of that material. And we wrote all those songs. So it was just, it was a really fun record from start to finish.
Super. Yeah. Sounds like it was. Now, what is your kind of songwriting process like? Do the two of you write together kind of as a team?
Yeah, this is Chandra. Yeah, we, with the last two records, so starting with Duo in 2018, we decided to try a different approach to songwriting, and we decided to write together. Previous to that, we would write our songs separately and then sort of produce them together and edit them together, but we're definitely writing singularly. And then when we started to write songs for Duo, it was like, hey, what if we talked about this idea of being in Nashville, and there's, you know, of course, the co-writing and songwriting, you know, community and environment here is just really rich, and it's something that, you know, we became very familiar with, but that we weren't really co-writing with people. We were still writing on our own. own. And so we were like, hey, what if we co-wrote together, you and I? And so, which seems like such a weird thing to suddenly occur to you after 20 years of making music together. But it just was like, oh, what if we tried to co-write?
That's what
Chan, that's what I call fashionably late. Okay?
Yes, we're fashionably late to the party.
But, you know, it was a really good experience, and I think it pushed both of us in different ways that were very beneficial. And it also just gave us a little bit more, I think, confidence, just to know that we were both working really hard on songwriting and making sure that we felt like it was the best that we were producing. And so we really loved making duo in that way, or writing duo in that way. And then when it came around to starting to write songs for this record, obviously 2 is better than 1, the power of 2. So we were like, let's write all these songs together again. And it was funny. It was like literally, I think, the day that Butch was like, okay, let's record more music, and you guys need to write songs. I think we had like 5 ideas by the end of the day, and I would just like call her and be like, what about this? You know, and she would call me back and she was like, what about this? And it was literally like 5 of the songs that were just, you know, little titles, song ideas came out within a matter of like 48 hours. And we were just like really inspired and having fun, you know, and I think that comes across in the record. It was just like from start to finish, it was a very fun and organic experience. And I hope that, you know, when the listeners are putting it on, that they put on Holler, they feel that, you know?
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned 2, excuse me, is better than 1. So talk about your vocals a little bit, because, you know, you've got beautiful harmonies, but then you sing together. So is that something that's kind of planned out in the songwriting process, or does that kind of develop when you're recording the songs and who's going to do what?
This is Leigh. I'll jump on that one. So initially, when we started doing that, it was really about, so duo, again, you know, we co-wrote the previous material. If Chandra wrote a song, she would sing lead on it, I would be the harmony. If I wrote a song, I would sing lead, she would be the harmony. When we wrote duo, there wasn't that formulaic piece. And so we kind of were like, well, what if we just sing everything together? Because we wrote it together, and that's the title of the record's Duo, which, you know, lent it to being this very collaborative thing, you know, the idea of that. And so once we did it on that record, you know, I feel like it kind of created a different voice sonically than previous material, because it wasn't just one of our voices, it was the blend of both of us together. And I think it's something that, you know, when we're in recording sessions, we oftentimes double or triple ourselves to create, you know, texture and just a roundness to the performance. And so we were like, well, everybody in the studio, you know, doubles themselves. We can actually do that on stage live. So why wouldn't we do that? You know, it's like, why don't we take that studio trick but bring that to our live show? And I think it also gives us, again, just like more confidence in singing, because we're not just out, you know, at the end of a pier by ourselves with the band back on the, you know, on the sand. It's like we're both out there together, and there's, you know, there's a strength in that. But I also think, you know, just having the experience that we have in life, it's like, you know, we were, you know, born at the same time. We grew up at the same time. Like, we've moved all over the country together, you know, and we've done music for a long time together. So I think it felt like a very natural progression for us to do that. And I think we also just, you know, we were able to accomplish that, the sound that we get on the record, you know, live. And I think that's always hard when you record music. It's like, you know, it sounds badass on the record, but then you get to the live performance, you're like, well, that didn't sound exactly like we wanted it to. And I think that's where we're really trying to, like, it was interesting, because in this we tried to really create material that we could do live that sounded like the record. So there's not a tons of, you know, it's all organic, it's all happening, it's all real people, you know, who are playing instruments and singing with us and, you know, contributing to the sound. And I think that's kind of like our mission was to create something that we could really have fun with live.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds, I can't wait to hear it. Now, with this record, compared to your past albums that you've done, was there anything that you specifically went into saying you wanted to do differently this time around?
Chan, do you want to say?
This is Chandra. Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing was just that we wanted to, to record it live. I think that was something from the beginning that we just set out to capture that energy. As we mentioned, the realness of it with its imperfections and its textures and room sound. And so that was something that was really intentional. And then we also just set out to make a really fun and happy and joyful record. We wanted people to laugh at some of these songs. I mean, there's a song called My Name that's about, it's a woman saying, if you love me, why don't you call me by name? And it's basically saying, like, her boyfriend calls her everything under the sun, like honey, baby, sweetie, but he can't remember her name. And then it gets to the bridge and you find out that actually she can't remember his name either. So it's like little funny things like that, there's some playfulness within the music. And there's also some serious love songs, and I think what we set out to do is just to write songs that make people feel, if that's a smile or makes you want to dance, or it connects you to a memory or the past or somebody that you've known in your life, and then we've done our work.
And you guys were on the road a little bit with the Lone Bellow, and did you get a chance to play some of these new songs live?
Oh yeah. It's been super fun to play them. People have really been reacting, which has also been incredible, just to finally be able to play them live and see the immediate response has been really, really fun. Yeah, we were out with the Lone Bellow, which Brian Elmquist from the Lone Bellow, actually, he's on that song My Name that Chan mentioned. He helped us write that song, and then also our single The Palace, he actually co-wrote that song with us with another friend, Jacob Suter. And those are the only co-writes that we brought people in on, really. And I think that, again, it was a really organic thing where I was at a coffee shop, I bumped into Jacob. He was like, what are you guys up to? I'm like, we're writing a new record. And he was like, we should write together. You got to love Nashville for that, just meeting somebody in the coffee shop. But, we ended up just having a great time writing The Palace. I had been to the Nashville Palace the night before with my husband and some of our family, and we did the blind dancing, lessons and everything, and just had a blast. And it was just really amazing to be around, people smiling and just interacting in a really positive way, just after so much of discord and sort of hard times that the world has been through over the last few years. So that sparked some joy, and then we ended up getting together the next day and we wrote The Palace. So when we were on the road with the Lone Bellow, Brian was jumping up each night and singing that song with us, which was really special.
Oh,
and then we were out with the Heartless Bastards up in New York and Philly, and we were up there with our full band and doing even another few of the new songs. And as Chandra mentioned, just really a great feeling to be able to sing for people, and then also just feel that reaction from the crowd,
And now you're going to be kicking off a headline tour of your own, because that kicks off next week here on the 21st, right here in Charlotte, at a great place to play at the Neighborhood Theater. So what are you most looking forward to about the tour, and kind of what can we expect from the show?
Yeah, first of all, we got to play the Neighborhood Theater on that Lone Bellow tour, and let me just say this, what an amazing group of humans that run that venue, and we had such a wonderful evening that night. And so when our booking agent brought it to us that we could start the record release tour in Charlotte, there was no hesitation. We were like, yes, 100%, because I think that goes back to this music is really positive, and so we want to be surrounded by that and try to create that for the spectators that are coming to see a show. And when you're a band and you're on the road, it's difficult. We're traveling, we're in traffic, we're trying to locate a good cup of coffee. And so when you arrive at a venue and you arrive to smiles and people who know how to do their job and who are welcoming you, it really is a homecoming. That's your home for the night. And for us, we had a great experience at the neighborhood. And last time we were there just as an acoustic trio. This time I'm really excited that we'll have our full band. They're all incredible players, and they're the people who made the record with us, minus our drummer, because he just had a baby. So we're replacing him on this run. But our drummer, Julian Dorio, is amazing. It's an incredible Nashville band that you don't want to miss the nuances and hearing these people who made the record with us live. I just think it's really special to have that opportunity.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a fantastic show.
We also have really awesome merch too. So and we're only selling it at the shows. It's not online yet. So
okay, that's good to know.
I think we'll have some sneaky records that maybe people can buy. The records will come out till Friday. So yes.
Awesome.
We can share it there. Yeah. But we're super excited, and we're going to be playing a lot of the new material, but we're going to be playing some of our older songs that just have always been crowd pleasers that people often request, and it's just going to be kind of a wide range of journey through Watson Twins, and also just bringing all this new material to the world. So we're super excited.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Of course. And we hope we'll see you at the show. If you can make it, that would be amazing.